Working within a team setting is already very difficult. And when you add in the different type of personalities and backgrounds, it can become even harder, and there will be conflicts down the line. How you effectively solve those conflicts through leadership skills and different techniques will then determine how great and successful your team will be overall. So let's start with the basics. What is a conflict? A conflict is when there's a disagreement between two members that can't be solved on their own. So what causes these conflicts? Sometimes it's culture, sometimes perception, personality, knowledge level, power level, and you have to first identify what the source of it all. Now, there's 3 different types of conflicts within that. Once you figure out what causes it, what causes the different type of conflict, and what a conflict is, then what's the different type of conflict? So you have a pseudo-conflict, which is a misunderstanding, lack of communication, breakdown within communication. Then you have a simple conflict. A simple conflict is when people don't agree on how something should be handled. You feel like it should be done, we should use red paint, and you feel like we should use green paint. It's just differences on how things should be handled. And then you have the ego conflict, which is one of the harder ones to overcome because it's emotionally derived. At this point, the person is not taking anything you say as constructive criticism. They're more so now taking it as an attack on their personality and on their intelligence or how they feel, and it can really lead to serious problems down the line. So how do you manage these different conflicts, or what can you do to overcome some of these conflict styles? I would say start with the basics. Get both parties in a room and sit them down. So what are the different conflicts? You can avoid the problem, which won't make it go away, it only make it worse. Then there's accommodation, which you can just, appease one party or give them both what they want and hope that successfully down the line things will get better. Then there's a competition style. Competition, I feel like, only works well when you're in like a sales environment or there's something that's being derived towards, because when you do it in a regular setting, somebody ultimately has to lose, and the person wants to win regardless of what's at stake, and sometimes it can cost you and your team everything they've been working towards. And then you have compromise and collaboration. Now, compromise is when everybody gives a little. We all meet in the middle. You give a little, I give a little, you give a little, and we can all meet there. Collaboration, which tends to be the most successful one, is when everybody considers everybody's feelings and comes together. Now, there's no perfect technique that will make it all go away. There's, nothing that will miraculously resolve the problems, as stated in our text on page 191, Bebe and Matterson. And you have to find a way to develop and work on the shared interests within the teams in order to make it successful. Now, I also believe that proper leadership can help in developing and moving forward and solving any conflicts within a group. A good leader can and will change the culture of your group. Effective leaderships can and define the group. There's task leadership and there's process leadership styles, but overall, a good leader should be able to identify there's a problem within the group and spend a little bit of time and understand that when people come to work, they do not leave their problems at home. They bring them with them, and it's a problem that you have to address and you have to overcome them. Also stated in our text, page 222, Bebe and Matterson. And it's very important for people to understand that, people are the most important part of your team. And if you don't realize that each person is an individual and they bring different things to the table, that's when you can become unsuccessful as a leader or even as a fellow team member. Also understand that you are only as strong as your weakest link. One of my colleagues stated it this week, Sean Pedasky, and he said it best, even if the team members have to spend a little time, working with each other and developing the next person, you are as strong as your weakest link. So take the time out, build each member, focus on each member, collaborate with each other, and you can have a very successful team. Conflicts will come, but if you take the time to properly solve them, address the issue, you should be able to overcome them all and have a very successful team down the line.